This is the Drew Experience show, the show that's 80% combat sports and 20% everything else. But today it's probably going to be 95 or 99.9% combat sports because I have another returnee to help get the show off the road. This time it's an international guest. He was on before on Beyond the Fight when I was only doing audio, but since I want to bring video to have a visual of who's who when I have on, I'm joined by none other than the legendary Brazilian Kyokushin practitioner, MMA coach who's worked with ATT, Black Zillions, Hard Knocks, Nell Sanford, and Andre, the Lion, Abdullah Benkei. Welcome back, Andre.
Hello, my friend. Hello, my friend. Actually, I never worked with the Hard Knocks. They are friends of mine. We working until they moved to Hard Knocks.
Mm-hmm.
But all of guys there are friends, and I love all of them. You know, it's the old Black Zillions. They went there. But guys, when the Black Zillions closed, finished, I was about to go to Missouri again, and I after the show. Right after the show, after the Ultimate Fight at 21, I went to Missouri because I had a project over there. But unhappily, my partner had a heart attack, bro, and passed away, and we couldn't go forward. And it's very sad because I love St. Louis. I want to really do over there.
That was Glenn Robinson, right? That we're talking about, the founder.
No. Glenn was not Glenn. Was another guy from Missouri. He was a boxing promoter before, and I finished my contract with Black Zillions and Glenn, and I didn't renew because I wants to go to St. Louis. There I'm gonna have all the structure. I really love it. Because I worked before in Hit Squad, the Matt Hughes gym, no? And this place for me always in my heart, bro. It's on my heart, in my mind as the perfect place to build fighters, because it's in the middle of America, in the heart of the wrestling, the folk wrestling for America, and the people over there have the best working in wrestling to the college guys and to the preschool, the entire pre-professional time for the wrestlers, man. Over there is great. It's great. The high school has the best program in the whole America. That's because I want to be there, you know.
That's amazing. Now, when you sent me a PDF file, and not many people know this, yes, you've worked with Black Zillions. Yes, you've worked with a lot of big names. But the one that stood out and what you just said was Matt Hughes, the legend, one of the legends of the welterweight division. What was it like working with the man himself? Because I've hosted his mentor and coach, Pat Miletich, on my old show.
Yes,
and Miletich said that he said Hughes would just dominate guys.
Yes. Man, look, me and him, we had a very, very good story. Look, I trained Thiago always. The entire career of Thiago until he hits the title shots, the title shot with St. Pierre. And one fight before was against the Matt Hughes, you know. And Matt Hughes always had a problem with us. Like, he always very. I love Pat. You know, Pat and me, we have very good relationship. All the team from Patty, man, we have great relationship. Even his brother, I also have good relationship with Matthew's brother, and I always have a very good relationship with them. You know, military system guys are, man, for me, like great people. But I always had a problem with Matthews. Always, he didn't like me. He didn't look me. He didn't talk to me. I say, okay, I respect that and keep distance. But between him and Thiago was worst. Because Dan Lambert, our boss at that time, brought him to Florida to he can have a seminars all over Florida. And one of those cities was in Orlando. Orlando was about 3 hours and a half from where we lived before, in Coconut Creek. And then we took the car and went there to celebrate with him. This is an opportunity, He was on one of those American top teams from Orlando. And we went there, drive hours and hours just to be there. We don't want to have a seminar with him. We just want to be there and support him, you know, like show something support because he wasn't in our state. Man, we drove so long, and we got lost and we got late, you know. Also, Thiago was late. He's a Brazilian. I hate that, but he always late. And he went late for the seminar. And when Thiago was entered and he was given the seminar, he stopped the seminar, look at him and say, "Hey, Thiago, man, you got late. You just lost the opportunity to learn how to escape from triangle." You know what happened with Thiago in his first fight in the UFC, no? He was fighting against the guy from military system, a small guy. It was his first fight. He was 20 years old. He was the stars are in his eyes. He couldn't see nothing. He was a very superior than the guy, even in the weight class, because the guy was just fought at 170 pounds, but he's originally from 155, and he Spencer Fisher. He was not that, you know, that power. And Thiago was dominating him like a little bit on stand-up, but not that much. And took him down and started to ground and pound him, but very like he was looking for the air, for all people around it. He was like, you know, totally like enchanted by the lights. You know? He was totally enchanted by the lights. He was like, oh, look, and oh my God. And the guy got him on triangle. Man, Thiago was training with many black belts in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and on American Top Team. He never got his ass kicked like that on triangle for nobody, especially for Marcus Aurelius, a great triangle guy, man, great guard on the sport. And he never got a cut by a triangle in training, but he got a cut by a triangle on the fight. This happened with his first fight in the UFC. But after that fight, he won 8 fights in a row. He was on top of the food chain already, you know. And he comes there and he make that kind of joke, you know, man.
It was a murderer's row of 170.
Very rude in front of everybody. Man, Thiago got mad, very mad. And me too, you know. Me too. I was like his father, man. I got so mad, man. Like, do something with me, I'm okay. But do something with my kids, man, I really got mad. And that was happening. No, like I say, man, I was like very angry at him, but I didn't understand the point of his mind of everything. When I moved to Missouri, and after Thiago beat him bad, you know, destroy him in London, and also he did again for that fight in London. Oh, he did again with him because Thiago, like 3 days before the fight, he hurt his ankle. And he must have took a shot from cortisone. You know, if you took a shot of cortisone, how you can make weight? That time it's possible. We called the UFC in England, didn't have a commission at that time. And then we said, okay, we can make a 175. It is possible. 170, I don't believe, because the shot he took. And they say, okay, no problem. He's gonna make it, and we make it everything right for 170. He make 174, at least better. He make 174. But the time of the fight, Matthew say, I'm not going to fight if they didn't show he didn't make weight, because I make 170. He made 170. He was ready for 170, you know. But he knew before we cannot make it. And then he make Thiago pass by, you know, all the like bad feelings about he didn't make weight and blah, 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 you know, to make him got his mind down. But man, I told him, hey bro, tomorrow you're gonna be a beast. If they don't want to make it, okay, bring to me, put in my account. But tomorrow you're gonna kill him. Man, the other day, he was a monster. Take a look at the pictures, because of course we give him all the whole carbohydrates, the whole system to make him back good again. And the man with the cortisone make him suck like many nutrients. He was like a monster, man. He was like a gorilla. there. He knocked him out with the knees in his body, not his head. It was a very hard fight. It's an amazing fight.
I have a question.
Display of potential.
I have
And
a
after
question.
that,
I do have a question about. Wait, I have a question about Thiago. How much does he weigh? Because he's a big boy for 170.
man, was big boy. He was normally 200 pounds, around 200 pounds all the time. 200, 202. Off season 202. He get down for 190, 195, 190 like during the camp, and then drop down to 170 pounds. He's a big guy, man. Very strong. Very strong.
He's a tank. He is a tank.
Tank. The strongest, one of the strongest guys I ever trained. He was like, I remember when he goes to fight St. Pierre, man. We went to fight St. Pierre. We had a Nogueira, big Nogueira, heavyweight there training, and Nogueira looked like he was a light guy. He moved him like a kid. Like Nogueira come to me and say, man, what is that? Say, no, don't worry. He's like that. He's strong like that. And also, St. Pierre has felt, you know, he never took him down against the fence. He just took down in the middle, and he took him down 12 times, but he stand up 12 times like nothing. And St. Pierre have a problem in his groin.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't hold him. And he told me, say, man, this guy is a bit. After that fight of Thiago, he put 10 pounds more because he felt. St. Pierre. He put 10 pounds more after he fight Thiago because he felt the difference of strength very, very, very big.
It was definitely one of the best fights, whether you're a St. Pierre fan or an Alves fan, because Thiago was a part of history being on that ceremonial UFC 100 card. It's my all-time favorite card because when you look at that card of who was on there, you had the main event, Lesnar versus Mir 2, St. Pierre versus Alves, Michael Bisping versus Henderson, John Jones coming up. Like, look at all the champions on there, Andre.
That day John Jones got the Malky Kawa as a manager.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not kidding.
Here's another story I have for you. Rogan apparently was the one who went up to John and said, hey, with your fight with Steven Bonner, I think you should go to look for a better gym, because he was training out of New York still, if you know the story. And his trainer was good, but it wasn't a Sarah Longo. It was like a local gym. And then that's when apparently, because George was with Greg Jackson at the time, St. Pierre was with Greg Jackson. So the rumor is Rogan apparently he didn't do it officially, but he unofficially had John meet with Greg Jackson, and Rashad Evans met, and with him, John and Jackson, and that's the legend. I don't know if it's true, but I'm sure you know more.
It is true. And that day, man, it's the day I'm never gonna forget in all my life. I'm never gonna forget that. It's impossible to forget that, because I knew if he was with everything right, he had the chance to beat St. Pierre. Mm-hmm. I believe big chance, like a real chance. And St. Pierre knew that, because we always together. St. Pierre is a good friend of mine. We are very close because he killed Shinkai. And from the time of the UCC, UCC in Canada, mm-hmm. over there, over you guys. And that time, we already knew each other. It's like, it's a long time ago, no? It's we always together. We always warm up together. Like, we always together at the same locker room. And St. Pierre, he asked to that. Say, no, put Benkei and Thiago with me here in my locker room. He always asked that, for we be together like a good energy family. Yeah, and when we fought, he hugged me. I felt him. He said, was a very hard fight. He felt that. After the fight, we celebrate together. We have the same party. We have at the pool together, and he's make a joke with me. Benkei, where are you, man? I was want to say bad words to you, but you're not there. I say, yeah, I was almost got to jail.
That was a good fight, though. And it's just that I think if Thiago...
Without the not just the camp, the camp was a mess because we couldn't do our camp. Second time, Thiago didn't have his main coach from striking. The guy was training him all the time. Muhammad Wali, he was in Europe, and they didn't have a visa to coming back. And it's like he had a corner I never had in his life. It's how you can fight at a title shot with 24 years old, 25 years old with no corner in your back.
Yeah, he was definitely, you know, like like how he started and that win streak he went on when welterweight was the murderer's row. Like you had him, you had John Fitch, you had Martin Kampman, Carlos Condit coming up,
Yeah,
Johnny Hendricks eventually.
it was a great weight class, man. Great weight class. Only
It
good great.
it was a great weight class, and even though I hated it during the Tyrone Woodley era because I don't like Tyrone Woodley, like I think Tyrone Woodley is a sad excuse of a champion, and for just how he behaves and conducted himself, the division opened up. But I liked it when it was the
I
Robbie Lawler era.
like it as well. But like look, Tyrone has his own personality. People he's not the guy to sell himself. It's not his behavior. No, he's not behave. He comes from. You must remember where he comes from. He's come from metro area in St. Louis. It's very hard to live there. And he made his way up by himself. And over there, bro, it's a lot of pressure.
Hmm.
I know the people from the area. It's a lot of pressure on make money on for the real life. They don't have time to make jokes or promote nothing. They just working hard. This is start
Hmm.
on. This
Yeah.
start on. Only one thing I really got sad. It's because I believe he needs to travel more. He needs to get more different approach, because he keeps doing the same thing, and it's very it's easy to see what he's going to do.
Looking for
Better.
that left. He's looking for that power right hand just to knock you out always.
Yes. I believe he needs to exchange, change something, and go to different places, improve his striking, improve his ground game, and different point of views. Wrestling is great wrestler. You
Yeah.
don't need nothing.
Oh, of course. His wrestling is D1, NCAA D1.
But
Another,
look, one thing, it's also the problem of the area. People over there, they they have a wrestling background that's very deep on their minds. And for them, they don't want to train in different martial arts or different arts too much, because they believe only the wrestling can solve all the problems. It's not true. The wrestling can make you be good in different areas, but you need to also train in these areas. It's like when I was there, when I arrived I just forgot to finish the story about Matt Hughes, and then we can go
yeah.
from that from the yes. I just forgot to close the idea.
That's why I love
Was
doing this.
when I went to work with Matt Hughes, we started talking, and before he was like, one more Brazilian wants to only go to the beach, and easy way to live, and that's everybody think about Brazilians. I'm not that way. I was raised by Japanese. I'm working very hard, but I like to work everybody together. When I went there in St. Louis, that's a difference. I brought with me 11 black belts. 11 black belts went to Missouri with me. Man, in the whole Midwest, you probably don't have 11 black belts for real, at that time. No, but at that time for sure. We talk about almost 15 years ago. No, 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 no.
That's
No, 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 no. I'm not 15. I'm wrong. I talk about 10 years ago. 10 years ago. About 10 years ago. We still no. It is not enough black belts, real black belts, to make 11 on the entire Midwest. We brought from to St. Louis, to Great City, to St. Louis, 11 black belts, man. That's like highest ground game there. And also, of course, there have many highest level wrestlers. We put them to working together, to training together, brother. Both sides are crazy, because both sides got in certain point their ass kick. And then they start to create their own style based on both wrestling and grappling. We talk grappling, BJJ, but I also brought some luta libre guys, some catch wrestling guys over there. But I pretty much Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys, and they create something together there. You know, the way they can fight to using or to neutralize the other style, and then they start to create their own pace, their own things. And Matthews went there and saw, and then he said, "Man, really, for when I arrived there, there's so many guys there, man. So many guys. Some guys are there only for get the food, get the place to sleep, to do parties, and make fights and lose. The team was like 75% of loss during the year. It's a very bad team, hit squad. Only with these guys, vagabonds. They don't need to work, but had many good guys there. Then I kicked them out. All of the vagabonds kicked them out. Most of the good guys also leave because they didn't believe in Brazilian as a coach. I understand. And they leave. They just left. They left and went to the training by themselves. But couple guys stay. And they started training with these guys. And we brought more wrestling guys from the area and 4 strikers as well. And we start to create, a good team, a team to working hard every day. Stabilize the schedule and everything. And Matthews went there saying, "Man, truly, you are a different Brazilian." I said, "No, I'm not different Brazilian. I was raised by Japanese, and this is my mind. If you're not working hard, you're not gonna succeed." Many jiu-jitsu guys have many techniques. They don't need to have a physical, approach because that. But I was the one to prove if you have technique, but you have physical approach, you are a superior fighter. And I put this, this philosophy over there, and they start to grow. The team start to grow and grow and grow. And then I understand as well the mind of Matt Hughes, because when he look at Thiago, he look at the playboy, come from Brazil, go to Miami, and only go to nightclubs. He was right. He didn't represent the real American values, and he represent the American values because he represents the family guy who goes to the family and stay there, and go to the farm, live on the farm. That's the American spirit of he represent. And Thiago was the opposite. And then he got mad because that. But Thiago also working hard, he has parties, but he also working hard. And then he start to see that in his performance. And then he say, okay, his way of life, my way of life. He start to get okay with that, okay with me for sure. And me too. I also understand him, and we became friends. I became a very good friend of him. I say, "Oh man, I totally understand you because I'm living here in Midwest now, and I also want to have this kind of values in my life, in my family, and it's great. This is great." And then the team started to grow. The guys was just left. The good guys went back, like one of those, for me, was always a great fighter. He was just left UFC because they had a problem with the management. Oh my God.
Was it Murillo Bustamante?
No. Murilo is from Brazilian top team. No, I say American guy. He left because he left UFC because the problem with the management, and he was 3-1, and he left. He was from Matthew's team. Oh my God, what is his name?
Wasn't Tim Silvio, was it?
No, that's not that old. He's recently. Oh man, I brought him to Mexico. He won the tournament in Mexico. I brought him there, and he won the tournament and the TV show, the Ultimate Fighter Mexico. One year before UFC went to Mexico. Man, hold on. I must remember. Hold on a second. It's like, man, I got old. You see, names start to get out from my mind. Okay.
You're like an encyclopedia. You have so many names. It's hard to remember because you have so much history to you.
Is yes, is I trained him at that time, and he started to go up. And another example there, Justin Jacob. Now he's in UFC, and he got back to UFC. He went to Glory. He was with me there. Just he was a young kid at that time, 23, 24, something like that. And we trained together, and he started to one fights. And we went to one fight in 4th July in Ohio. Was the 4th July day, and Joe Silva was in the first line of that show. We fought against the fighter, was a BJJ champion in the area of Ohio. It was George Gugel, and Rich Franklin was in his corner. They are good friends of mine as well. And they invite Dusty only to be killed by this guy, and to this guy sign with the UFC. But Dusty was a very young kid, but he was not ready, but he was very good already, And we went there. Dennis knocked him out so bad, man. So it was a beautiful knockout, so devastating knockouts. Like Joe was like, oh, and I come to his manager and say, please don't put him in UFC. It's not the time. He needs a little bit more time. But his manager say, no, okay, I'm not gonna put it. Please give me 1 year, man. His manager put him in UFC, took him out from the team. He's crying, called me crying, and because he had signed contract with this guy, he couldn't do nothing. And he training at the other camp, went to UFC, lost 3 in a row, and went and get out from the UFC. Years after, he got a chance in Glory, won the tournament in America. He won the tournament in Glory striking, and he stayed in Glory for a long time. And last year, not this year, in the beginning of this year, no, last year, at the Ultimate Fighter, he won the fight, and he got a chance to coming back to UFC, and he won the fight again, and now he's ready.
Nice.
I'm very happy because of that.
That's good. Sometimes you just need some more time because.
Well, at that time we had the team, like that team, and I had there. If I had more time over there, I knew many champions like him is gonna grow up, like him and many others come from outside of there. We in 1 year we put 3 guys in UFC over there from the scratch in 1 year. 1 year. Was a very good team.
You've also
international fights as well.
Yeah, you've also worked with. You're friends with him too, but you posted a picture of him signing with Bellator, Rumble Johnson. And that's something I wanted to ask you about because Rumble is for those who know him, one of the best knockout artists I think of our generation in mixed martial arts. Because you look at what he did, let's not look at the 170 Rumble, which was, I don't know how he made 170, but then he got cut.
Look, about 170. I remember him suffer in sauna, sitting, like almost dying, man. I say, man, that people are crazy. How they make this giant to make 170? He never could do nothing on 170 because, man, he fought totally destroy his body with that. Even to 85 is very hard for him. Imagine 170. Even 185 is hard for him. Imagine 170. Was a nuts people who did that with him. And then he went to Black Seals. He fight a couple of times in 185, go up again for 93, and then he found, his reach, his happiness. Fighters need to fight with his heart, with their heart. They need to be happy, when they fight. When they need to train happy, they need to be on focus to do it. He didn't have focus when he was much to make weight. He's focused more to make weight than really train, But and with 93, he found his point. His place, And then after that, he started to grows up. His power, he's already have it, man. Insane power,
he came back.
Man. Strong brawler, man. He's one of those biggest brawler of the sport for sure.
He came back.
ability. He's a natural ability of wrestling. He's a good at
Hmm.
wrestling. He very good on neutralized ground game. You know, man, he was a very very good fighter, man. Like if only John Jones is on John Jones, and
I wish
of
we
course
got that fight. I really wish we got that fight because honestly, we were robbed.
was a superior in some aspect. After beside of these two, I don't see nobody to can stop him.
I really agree because when he came back, dominated Phil Davis, derailed Phil Davis's UFC career basically because
But
Davis
they,
was never the same. He came back like 2 months late, 3 months later, fought Little Nog, knocked him out as like kind of like, okay, let's see how good you do at 205. Then he
yes,
starched like it's on YouTube. Like he knocked out Alexander Gustafsson in his own town, and Alexander had on his table like Alexander was promised if he beat Rumble Johnson, he was gonna do. They were gonna do the
yes,
sequel
yes,
of
yes.
John Jones.
True, true.
What was it like for you guys in Black Zillions at the time when you know going into enemy territory? Well, I don't know if you were there, but what was the mood like for Hoofed and Black Zillions when Rumble was on that run?
I was there, but I was busy with the show, filming the show. I was not. I saw them, you know, on the. We have contact and talking on the video and everything. But I saw his own camp, the entire camp over there. You know, I was with him, and he was training with a friend of mine. All coach of he has, man, great coach. You know, great people. The straight conditioner coach of him, Jake Bonanzi, man, amazing guy, bro. As a person, you know, as a professional, it's amazing guy. I really respect him, and we all has a very good relationship. You know,
Yeah, he's
Jake,
someone that I really want to like that I'm really planning to talk to.
Jake is the guy to he the way his approach of the fighters, he improves. He give to the guys what they want to have it, you know, and he didn't push, but the base of the guys wants are very good covered by him. Do you understand what I mean? It's like he didn't push the guy to improve certain aspect of physically, you know, because this is my character, my way of work. I always try to put something to to go them beyond, but he didn't do that. But the way he put his approach to the basic and to the physically parts of the guys really need it or really like it to have it when they fight, he do it. He's a great professional, bro. Great professional. I truly respect him as a friend and as a coach.
There's
And
also
all his camp was over there. I was with because personally, me and Anthony were very good friends. You know, like we knew each other for a long time. Like I told you, like I was with Tiago. He was dropping weight crazy. I always try to help anything when I can. You know, I always help everybody. This is my way of life. You know, I try to help everybody. You know, and that's I always try to help. And I always sit with him. We talk many times about the show I was, the Ultimate Fighter, the fighters, the young fighters. He always talk to me something he thinks. I'm also talk to him about things I think, and he always respect, always listen. He's a great guy, bro. I truly want to. He has a great career now in Bellator. You know, I was sad when he's retired so early, but I understand it was so much pressure to
yeah,
him on UFC. He needs to have a time to his life. You
yeah.
know, he had some project in his mind. He made it, and now he's back to the Ultimate Fighter with the right people, the people he always working with. This
Yeah,
is respect a lot.
I agree. And what's funny too is Rumble has been a very interesting not actor as in like acting, but like when I say actor, it's like for his for where he was in the period of history for the sport, because he trained with an unknown then Israel Adesanya. Maybe you know about this. I want to know, and I'm curious to know how did Eugene Behrman and Henry Hooft come in contact. And then also, we'll also get to this too, which a second. He almost fought my favorite 185er who was going to come up to 205, Gegard Mousasi at 206. It was for an interim title. But, you know, we were talking about that, and we'll talk about that in detail. But tell me about the Israel Adesanya connection. How did that happen from what you know and remember?
You talk about AJ Adesanya with the.
Yeah, they trained together. There's a video of it, and I'm curious to know, how did Black Zillions, because Izzy was unknown then, but they were helping him prepare for the John Jones fight because Izzy and John have the same physique.
Yes, yes, yes. That's like Adesanya is. What happened? Let me told you that. You know, Hoof has very good relationship with any coach in striking game. You know,
Mhm.
and Adesanya was in the striking game at that time. He was not on MMA, and then he always tried to bring guys have almost the same body type or style of the guys they will fight. This is right, you know, that for they got usual for the size and everything, you know. He brought also the guy from Mike Jim, a big guy. I forgot his name also. The very big Dutch guy striking and
Rico
Adesanya.
Verhoeven.
Yes, 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 yes. And because his relationship, like, you know, Dutch people are they're always together, you know, they always like help each other. This is very good from Dutch people, bro. They have brotherhood, you know. And he called the other coach was Adesanya was training with and brought Adesanya to the camp for helping, man. That's he looking for. I believe after that Adesanya looking say, hey, maybe it's a good idea go to the MMA.
Yeah, that's the rumor. That's the legend that we hear, that after that sparring video, that's when Adesanya said, "I'm coming to MMA," because he was making more money.
Yeah, he found a way to say, okay, I believe I can deal with that. For what's good for him as well, you know, because he trained very good with in the distance
Mhm.
with AJ. Of course, AJ on training is not the same as AJ on fight. You know,
No, exactly.
AJ always like go hard, but it's still not the same way he goes in a fight. It's totally different.
There's another fighter that's coming up, and from Glory, he's now fighting in LFA. His name is.
So, sorry to interrupt
Oh,
you,
sure.
but one point about Hoof sparring sessions. Hoof, he always like to do more strike. Of course, he's a striking guy, you know.
Yeah.
His sparring session always have more striking. If you go like to his sparring session, you see every time someone took someone down and say get up and go again. Especially on that time when we be together, when we working together one time after that show, he saw the possibility to have more ground grappling during the sparring because this is the way I do. And then by the team of the Ultimate Fighter, I I did different than the way he was doing on the regular Black Senior Fighters, no. And then he saw the way I do and say, okay. Before he didn't like it. I said, man, no, this is not good. This is not good. But after he saw the improvements day by day, even his wife, they say, yes, yes, this is it's different now because they are a more striking game, but more defensive grappling as well. And then after that, he put a little bit more, let the guys work a little bit more on the ground. But before, on that time, with that design, he didn't do it. That because that design felt very comfortable. And then after that, say, oh, maybe it's possible. Anyway, it's good for that design.
It is. It is. There's another guy that's coming up, a Brazilian. He's now in LFA, Alex Pereira, and he's the last guy that knocked out Stylebender. I'm sure you know of him. A lot of people are saying this is the guy, and when he comes to UFC, he's going to dominate Adesanya and really show that Adesanya can be beaten. But I see what you're doing there, because you look at how he started MMA much later, and Adesanya's
Uh-huh.
been doing it earlier. So there's always that. And I kind of believe that when you're older, it's harder. Like, there's the exceptions like Randy Couture, Daniel Cormier, and others. But I don't see Pereira doing much if he comes to the UFC. I think it's just Izzy's miles ahead.
Look, yes, I look for me. Everything is step by step. You know, a striker is very hard to do. He got the point to go to UFC. You know, it's more hard than if he comes from wrestling base is one thing, comes from grappling base one thing, comes from striking base is another thing. Because when you strike, you don't think about people are gonna take me down. And when people take you down, you start to be so afraid of this, and you forget your own style. We have a very good example, Saki.
Mm-hmm.
Gokusaki was a very, very good striker and got his first fight. Almost he got his ass knocked out by a Brazilian guy with the brawler. And the second he was knocked out on stand up on MMA. Easy way by a guy who was not in his level of striking. Do you understand what I mean? It's to get, you know, usual for MMA. Your style of striking also must be specific for MMA. You cannot go forward anymore. You must to start to learn how to step back and fight backward. That's the most important. Fight backward, fighting angles. And if you don't have that, you can fight. You don't need to fight in angles if you are a good brawler or powerful striking in kickboxing or boxing. But when you are in MMA, man, you must learn that distance. You must first fix your distance. Got his good training wrestling, you know, basic defense on the ground, the way you can stand up, the way you can neutralize people who can hold you on the ground. It's a lot of things to do. It's not easy like that. I hope so, because I'm Brazilian and I like, and also as a coach, I like to see high-level strikers on the game. But you cannot say the guy's gonna beat Adesanya only because he beat him on striking word. I'm gonna give another example. Remember Melvin Manhoff?
Yes, of course. Still in Bellator, surprisingly.
Striking game, cannot say nothing about him. He's a great striker. When he trained in American Top Team, every time he trained with Wilson Gouveia, he trained with Thiago Alves, and was MMA sparring, he got his ass kicked on stand-up. Bad. If it was MMA sparring, if it was only striking, he kicks everybody's ass. Do you understand what I mean?
Yep.
If it was just striking, he kicks Thiago's bad. Also Wilson Gouveia. But if it was MMA striking, the sparring was striking MMA, then they can take him down. He got so nervous about the takedown defense, he forget his style on stand-up, and then he got destroyed all the time by them and striking. That because he didn't like to sparring in American Top Team. He went to American Top Team to training grappling by himself and training wrestling and only sparring striking after that. This is a brown things. I don't like it. You know, I always say that for him, bro. You need to train in sparring, MMA sparring. He never went to MMA sparring because he didn't like that, you know. But he was not my fighter. I told this for Mike many times. Mike, put him to sparring because he needs that sparring. But, you know, he never did.
When you're a star of his level, it's kind of hard to convince him to say, listen.
You must work with your ego.
Yeah.
You must work with your ego. It's like, and he was great striking, great striker. And this is like made him proud, and I'm saying, oh man, what the hell, you know? And that's what's happening with Saki, same thing. You know?
Another guy that Hooft found, I mean, I don't know what it is. I don't know how Hooft and Rashad Evans find these guys together. Like, they just find a way of finding these prospects. Ismail Nardiev. I know you weren't there, but I'm sure you've heard of this guy, the Austrian Wonder Boy. He's a Chechen. He was a Chechen fighter from Austria. Very good wrestling background, but he strikes like a Stephen Wonder Boy Thompson. And he had like a good 2-1-2 record. You know, he fought Chase Rauchentree. He fought what's the Afghani fighter? He's CR.
Yeah.
Bad. How do you say his name?
Sia Brazuk.
Yeah, they fought and he won, but you know the UFC cut Nardiev, I think, but it wasn't out of because he was a bad fighter. I think they just said, listen, you know, we're not giving you any fights right now because of the pandemic, so go build yourself on the regional scene. And I want to ask you, based on Nardiev having the wrestling background first and then the striking background, do you think he has the materials to become a star if he puts everything together mentally and physically?
Sure, sure, sure. Man, like, the situation of Chechenian people in Austria, they are, they are warriors, bro, because they fight against the many things, against the racism, the racist so much there. I was there, I know. It's like it's very hard, man, to deal with these things over there. They, and also about the religion process. They don't like the religions, like, every pressure on the people from Chechnya, and it's hard to them, And they are warriors, bro. They fight back like in everything, everything they work with. They try to do their best, and this kid is a really good kid, really really good kid. He for me. If he keeps going this way, man, I was almost like I invite him a couple of times to come because I was in Austria to go to my gym, but we didn't have the opportunity because he went to American Top Team.
No, he went to Hoofs actually. He tried,
They,
I think, yeah.
no, he went to Hoof. He went to also American Top Team. He go many different places.
Mm-hmm.
He went to many different places, and and we didn't have that opportunity. He said, "Okay, Benkei, next time I will," but uh, the gym over there we had a problem and we must finish in a very difficult situation there in Austria. It was very sad what happened.
Yeah, he's such a potential, man. Like, I remember, shout out to my friend Kevin Pelletier, who knows prospects when he sees them. He's like, you have to check this guy out. He's like, if you like striking and like a good mix with wrestling, he's like, this guy is the future if he puts it together. And I mean, look,
Yeah,
as you just said, he's all over right now, but I like that he's training. He's got a very humble mindset, because the thing is, when we see these Eastern Europeans, such as the Chechens, some of them do get the starstruck like Thiago had in his first fight. And I think Ismail has a very good circle around him. He's got a very humble background, which is good. And I think being Chechen or Dagestani, like with the circumstances you grow up in, they just know how to keep it real. Like, they don't care about money or being on Instagram or saying I'm a fighter. Like, they're doing this for their legacy.
yes, man. It's like we told before, the religion helps a lot. That's about the religion give them support of their personal lives to get in different way, not just the fancy way. It's too hard to survive to that fancy way in America in UFC, bro. And they can do it because not just in UFC, bro, just in the entire MMA sport. Any shows anywhere, like fighters got spotlight now, and it's very hard to keep them humble and keep them on earth to working hard, and I believe the religion helps them a lot to put in, stabilize them on earth, on the ground, to can work and keep going, keep growing.
While you were in Chechnya, did you have a chance to meet and train with Kyokushin legend Leshy Kurbanov, if you know of him?
No, I know, man. I know him because one of those my friends, Marisu Babu, he is training, always training with him, And Mabu always went there to train him to the striking shows, and he always said to me, I met a couple of times. He's looking like, man, it's like the machine, the guy was focused 100% all the time. He's a hero from the entire sport over there, no? And this is the kind of a fighter any coach wants to have.
Very built. He's not a big guy, but he's like a Daniel. Think of a Daniel, for those like who were talking about Leshy Kurbanov, a Kyokushin legend in Chechnya, Russia. Think of Daniel Cormier, but more built and disciplined.
Yes, yes, the size, yes, but very athletic,
Oh,
more
he's
than
got
Cormier.
Oh yeah, he's got that spinning tornado kick that's just insane. Like,
Yes,
there's no one that does a better spinning back kick than him and
yes,
Glabe
man.
Feitosa. Glabe Feitosa, like when it comes to kicks, like those are and Fiho too. Like, those are the three guys you think of for, like, if you want to watch art in motion, it's Kurbanov, Fiho, and Feitosa.
It was, yes.
Hey, how is Feitosa doing
Power,
down?
power. Francisco Filho. I never
Yes.
seen nothing like Francisco Filho on Power, bro. He was a beast. Uh, his kicks and punch was so strong. So, but the problem is, Brazil people like coaches in Brazil are Japanese mind and Japanese coach, and they push you till Fudoshi and beyond and beyond. That's beyond until you got broken. And he got
Yeah.
many injuries because of that. But he was so strong, man. Like Francisco Filho was a beast. His kicks was not that plastic as Glauber. Glauber was more technical plastic, but his power was amazing. My God,
He
man!
put you to sleep. The root
Like
the
no,
he put you to
it's
sleep.
yes, it's like the power he can generate with his kicks. I never saw in my life.
And moving to boxing now. Now, last week, no, 2 weeks ago, Mike Tyson came out of retirement for an exhibition with Roy Jones. What was your thoughts on that? Like, do you like this now Legends League? Like, do you think it's right for these guys to come out and fight like in exhibitions to kind of teach the
That,
old generation?
that way, yes.
Mhm.
That way they did, yes. The real way, no. No, they don't have like I have the same age, bro. It's not the age for you get punched like this too hard or it's even hard to they put the show. They put the show. They put the show. They got physically enough to move around to show them technique. That's the way it must to be. Was a great exhibition of technique for both sides
Mhm.
for both sides. I truly like it, truly enjoy it, and I was expected that. I was not expected craziness and grace Lord. That didn't happen
Yeah.
because for legend they don't need to prove nothing to nobody, bro. It's only show to the new generation. Look, man, the way they move. This some trick moves and some trick ways to. That's we want to look and then just the technique. It was a very good exhibition. I was very happy for both. I'm a big fan of both. I was
Me
a
too.
great fan of Mike Tyson. I saw him from the beginning when he was. I followed all his career, and I truly um, until he. I stopped to follow him or follow him deep after he broke up with Kevin Rooney because
Mhm.
Kevin Rooney is a real coach of him. After that, he was not Mike Tyson anymore.
It was Don King's puppet, basically.
Yes, yes, yes. Was the everything Don King did it was to separate him from the his uh his uh his original crew. And what's got me happy now, couple months before he announced his return to the boxing as this exhibition fight, he said, "Man, if I stay with Rooney, maybe I couldn't be the best fighter in the history of the sport." And he was right. If he was stay with Rooney, he couldn't be a greatest boxer of all times. He couldn't be, but he didn't.
I think he just got too distracted by the outside of the ring things, and then all this, all like we all know the stories. But there's one
Pickup
guy.
is unique. Only the guys who work with Teddy Atlas, Kevin Rooney, they know how make it. Teddy Atlas more or less, but Kevin Rooney was the responsible for a professional, and Kevin Rooney is the guy who truly knows about the style. And of course, Gus D'Amato from the beginning because was the creator. Gus created a style, and he teach Ted and teach Rooney, and Rooney was his best coach, you know. And when Gus died,
Mhm.
uh, Mike only trained with Rooney.
Do you think?
Mike was Teddy only on amateur level.
Yeah. Do you think the next for the next legend fight? A lot of people are saying like for the exhibition it should be the Holyfield trilogy or Lennox Lewis is apparently they're asking him to come out, and Lennox is a legend himself, never does not have any brain issues, talks beautifully, he's like he lives a life very quietly, and I think Lennox, you know there's a lot of unfair knocks on his reign as a champion because they say, oh, he fought guys past their prime. But Lennox fought the legends, and Lennox was what the definition of a champion is. And I
No,
think
I
now,
like that a lot.
you like,
I knew I know him personally and I say that to him. He was a great fighter. He just had the bad luck to was not in the right time.
Yeah.
He didn't born in the right time, but he's a great fighter. He is a great fighter.
He's the
He was.
definition.
I truly prefer uh, Lennox because if wasn't Holyfield is gonna be because they still have something, bro. I don't want to be. I don't want to nothing for real now. They have nothing to prove, bro. The
No,
trilogy, I don't believe this is a good idea, man.
I'd rather see
Because they
Lennox.
are still fighters, no? They say something can be boom.
Yep.
It's not good. It is not good for that time.
I just want to see Lennox come out and do another like exhibition bout, but based on skill. Because when they fought back in 2002, it was basically like Lennox was standing up to the bully Tyson because Lennox famously said Mike Tyson is the last of the old bully guard in boxing, and once I beat him, boxing's gonna have a new reign. And it was hyped up, but Tyson just didn't show up to really. I mean, he
Nah,
did
I
good,
don't want
but
anymore. Like I told you, Tyson was Tyson till Spinks. Spinks was his apps, like he's on top of the food chain on Spinks. After Spinks, Don King made the magic, put three girls. He chose one. His crazy wife, and that destroyed his life and put him on troubles
isn't
he can have.
isn't it funny how karma really is real? Because you think of it this way, Robin Givens was really like getting at him and then, like making him look bad. And now, like, where is she? No one talks about Robin Givens. And if they do, they realize like how much of a manipulative, I'm not
Yeah,
going to say it on here. She's a manipulative, evil woman. And the girl
yeah,
that falsely accused him of rape, it turns out that like she was like, there's a lot, anytime
yeah.
you accuse of
It
rape is like it's a very heinous crime, but it turns out that like the details were a bit not right.
happened like that way. That for sure, that case for sure, we know that. It was just he didn't do nothing, man. Okay, he's a little bit machist. Okay, we can say that, but was not a rapist at all. Was that? But everything was put to make a history. You see the girl now.
No
Yeah,
one, no
this
one
is
talks, no one talks, and they talk bad about her. They're like, wow, they're like, we can't believe she actually did that. But you know what? There are people out there that want to get that shine. They want to take the shine away from fighters. And I'm sure you've seen it with your fighters too. It happens in MMA. Look at Conor McGregor. I mean, look what happened with Conor, and you look at a guy like Khabib, and you see the difference. Khabib has a very good background with that religion, an agent in Aziz who cares about his client's well-being, and now
great. He's a great manager, bro. He's the one of those great managers on the spot right now.
my coach met him, my coach Mohammed, the one that I told you about in Kyokushin, and he said very good things about him. Like, Ali gives the time of day to people. He'll sign autographs. He'll take time to have a conversation. And not many agents do that. And many agents are going to blow you off. They're going to say, I don't have time. Oh, yeah, just come get a photo. But Ali
Yes,
was like my coach would ask questions, and Ali was like, well, Habib's knee is getting better. We want him to fight this guy. Before the knee injury of 2014, we wanted him to fight Anthony Pettis. And but then timing just like he's having a conversation, and that's what I love about Ali. And Ali is a guy that I would love to talk to, and I understand with some of these guys it's like you got to go through like hoops and hurdles, but I mean it's just amazing to see what Ali's done. Like, he's basically become the agent you want to have represent you. Would you agree with that?
yes, brother. Yes. He's one of those good things happen in our sport. A guy like that come to manage the fighters. I'm very happy with him, and he's a truly human being. And he looks different ways of the normally manager do. We have a good example here in Brazil as well with George, my great friend. He's a so funny guy. He is coaching. He's a manager for many guys from Brazil, and I believe he's a kind of example of that. George is a great guy.
What's
It's
a What's your opinion of Walid Ismail?
we call him Joinha.
Joyina?
Joinha.
And what's your opinion of Walid Ismail, who's managing guys like Davis and Figueiredo, Paula Costa? Like, Walid is
But,
a
But it is a figure, man. He's a part of a history of our sport. You know, he is a guy who was he, our sport needs him to keep the tradition alive. He's always intense. He's always intense. But he fight for his fighters. That's it. That's manager must to do. Fight for his fighters. But he's a character. He must to. He's the kind of guy we must have in our sports. Joinha is different. Joinha is different. Joinha is a guy to he's the guy uh, to to bring a to bring different aspect of the different sports to come to our sport. He's more he interact more with the other sports. Valid is more it's more traditional. It's more from the tradition of MMA, like keep the things hard way. I really like him, bro.
I love how
For years, it's like I don't remember when I met Vali the first time.
I love how Valid is like with his fighters always. He's kind of like that WWE villain, super villain that
Yeah,
like he's like
yeah.
translating. But I like how, but the last time we spoke
Translation
and
it's very famous as well. He's put something always.
yeah, there's one thing though that I think that people should be coming to you for because you're Brazilian and you said this on the last episode, the importance for Brazilian stars. When the Brazilian fighters become stars, they should really learn English to help market their brand. Like a guy like Vitor. And we saw this last night with Charles Oliveira. And Charles
Yes,
Oliveira doesn't speak any word of English. And I think, you know what? It's like, listen, you're the numbers like 3 ranked
three.
lightweight
Right?
now. And you
And
can't
how much
speak a word of English.
didn't speak English. Even the show will not support you because they didn't speak English. That you are look, you are a fighter. Yes, you must be tough. Yes, this is a part of the first part of your job. But you were gonna work with the American company. The sport is in America, and the sport is worldwide. The language to you can express yourself, to can express who you are, to can selling the things you want to sell. It's English. You must learn English. It's like like me, even the rudiment of the language you must to have it.
Yeah, like
You
yes.
can express yourself. This is
I mean, look at Vitor. I mean, Vitor's a legend and he speaks flawlessly. And it's like you say, like you need to tell your fighters this, like Andre, like when they come to a UFC, learn.
Thiago was a great product
Yeah.
for UFC. UFC was supporting him for many years. Why? Because he speaks English. He's Brazilian, but he speaks English. He's staying in UFC for so long. Why? Because he can sell himself, in English.
That's the trick. And I'm not trying to sound like I don't want to sound I hope it does like I'm not trying to sound offensive here, but you can't open doors for business opportunities for yourself if you're not speaking another language. I live in Quebec, okay? I live in Quebec. We speak English and French. French is the official language in Quebec, Canada. And
Uh-huh.
if I want a job where I can succeed and grow, I need to speak both languages. Even if it's basic French, I need to be able to have a conversation with
Sure.
customers. And just knowing 2 languages, whether it's broken or not. Like look at Ariane Lipsky, the one who fought like 3 weeks ago versus Valentina Shevchenko's sister. She's making an effort to learn English, Ariane. And before that, she only
Yeah.
spoke Portuguese. And why did she learn English? Because she fought in KSW, where you have to speak English, and she wanted to sell herself to the European market. And in Europe, they speak English as their second language mainly.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm totally agree. They must have this in their mind, bro. But it's very hard, no? It's the culture in Brazil is still. You fight, you're a good fighter. You're gonna make it. Yes, you're gonna make it, but and about the money, the l'argent, the things keep you there.
That's why, like, and a guy like Aldo, for example, like Aldo was the king of the
Yeah.
featherweights, but why no one came to Aldo, like became a fan of Aldo, unless you were a real hardcore fan of MMA, was he spoke no English. Why do you think? And that's why Connor became like people recognize Connor more
Yeah,
as the champ.
of course, of course. And he was much more dominated on the. But you say the truth. He didn't sell himself, and
Isn't it crazy? It's 5 years ago when that UFC 194 happened. Aldo, McGregor, and then the middleweight, the co-main, Weidman versus Rockhold, which I
Yeah.
think as time goes on, it's one of the better middleweight title fights because it didn't involve an Anderson Silva and it didn't involve Weidman fighting, another Brazilian, which the knock on Weidman was he was fighting Brazilians, but were these Brazilian legends really at the top of their game? And I mean, what is your opinion of the Rockhold Weidman fight 5 years looking now 5 years later? What's your opinion of Luke Rockhold as a fighter?
You say it is hard to say, bro. Look, about the card was about the entire card was great card. About the what happened with Aldo, there is we don't need to say. Aldo was totally locked, like totally controlled by the mind of Conor. Conor just put him in what he wants and knock him out. This was what he did. It was a very good play by Conor. But Lockhart, how can I say, bro? He was the guy. He's a good product, good look, good look kid. He was like, and uh, his background in wrestling is okay, not that, but he didn't have. Look, when you train by hoof, you need to have a special power. Like he's the guy to put you in the good spot to knock you out, to knock people out. But when you talk about strategy, when you talk about boxing movements or footwork or prepare the knockout, technically talking about technical part, he was not the right coach for you have. That's the truth, as a fighter as well. He was like that as a fighter as well. He's the guy, like the guy who succeeded with him, who was the guy to have knockout power. He didn't build the knockout power. He got the guys with knockout power and he used that for make them knock people out. But when you see them like need to have footwork to win the fight, to get angles, to go to get or to construct a knockout by amount of striking, technique. He wasn't the right coach for this. He's not in his approach of this, he always said he's the guy with the simple things. He said that he put the things simple. But when the things can be simple, when you guys have a knockout power. But when you don't have knockout power, you must go a little bit far to get a success. And he was not the coach for when you have that. And Lockwood was not the guy to have knockout power.
He needs more of it.
He needs more footwork. Mm-hmm. He needs different. He needs to sweet levels to get in mix with the wrestling part. He didn't have that. That because he didn't succeed with that's why I believe was the main reason of your question.
Yeah, like the question was like, what's your opinion of Rockhold? Like, when he won the belt, which he looked dominant, but he was with AKA then. And then after he lost the belt to Michael Bisping, he went to Henry Hooft for a bit. And yes, I mean, it was nice. What I've heard stories that, Rockhold was a very good teammate, because the thing is with Luke, he likes to put on this like ego, like to make people not like him. But deep down, from what I heard, very nice to people in the gym. Like he's going to help them. He's going to talk to them. He just doesn't want to like be bugged by like or be taken advantage of. But when I spoke with like some others, what was Rockhold like? Training with Hoof, they said they liked him. The guys liked him. But as you just said, it wasn't the right coach with the right fighter. However, Henry Hooft said he's been one of the most gifted fighters I've ever coached with all the tools and how he looks. But as you just said, I'm going to say it again. Sometimes wrong coach, wrong fighter is the fit. And that happens. It's going to happen. It's inevitable.
Coach, no, it's not. Like I said, you have fighters and the coach, and Coach can fit what this fighters can fit what this coach didn't fit. I did one. It's like, you know, Henry said the truth. He wants the gifted fighter, but in AKA he has more mix. That because he got the belt.
Yeah.
That's what the point of are we looking for talk to you. It's like he didn't succeed with Henry because he's going always to the right point to try to knock people out without have knockout power. It's not his ability, his skills. It's not only his gift. You know, he was not a gifted fighter. He didn't have the power like Anthony has. You know, and he needs to have, you know, different approach like he had in AKA. AKA put him more because they working with guys to go different levels, shooting, mixed with the wrestling on the wall, have like a short brawler things, and then go, you know, always mix. That's AKA style. Without that, he was not the guy to go stand up and only try big punches, you know, only try to get the big punches. He doesn't have that.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I think now he's now
Because
working.
with Hoof, he was not for Hoof. That's the truth.
It happens.
Not,
And
you know why? Another one, very good example. For me, it was very bad to him train, but not say bad to train with him, but you know, Rashad. Hoof was not the right coach for Rashad, for sure.
Really?
Because Rashad didn't have the knockout power for what he wants.
Mm-hmm.
Rashad had the knockout power when he constructed. We mix it up. If go down, go up, go down, go up, like, and that was not the style of Hoof, you know. And that's the style Rashad was succeeding in Greg Jackson, and we went to Hoof and went down.
I mean, he kind of had, yeah, he had some
good examples. It's like not because Hoof is bad coach. Of course not. He's a great coach, but his style didn't fit with these fighters.
Yeah. But if there's one thing I like about Henry Hooft, even if they don't work well with him as fighters, Henry likes to keep them around as a mentor, and that's something I really appreciate.
Oh no, Henry's, man. Lucas said Henry's a great coach. He's a mind set up, everything on him. It's to be a leader, you know. Yep. His work was great, but like some fighters also, it's not for me training. I cannot train. It's not the guy I looking for training. Like I will give you an example. Cosmo Alexandre is a good friend of mine. He's a great friend of mine. I love Cosmo. We coaching together one time. I brought him to coach with me, but he wasn't a fighter. He was not the fighter I want to train him to MMA. Because, man, he's a gift guy. I was not the guy for the gift guys. My work is to get the guys from working from the beginning to the base to construct things, you know. Like Cosmo has a gift guy. He knows. He can make it, you know. He can go there with someone, sit in his corner, and like Anderson Silva, and he knock up everybody's out. It's like he's a gift guy, you know. It's the kind of guy. It's not for me, you know. It's not. I feel it. No, it's not for me. I prefer another kind of fighters. This is a fit fighters, fit coach. That's it.
And then you also worked with Jorge Santiago, another good friend of yours. That's a guy that I love to talk to as well, because Jorge has played a very big role in Kamaru Usman's success from wrestler to BJJ. And what is it now? Now, this is a question with both Jorge and Henry Hooft. They don't do media. And I kind of like that because a lot of coaches we see when they get on the media, they like to hype their train. But what is it that you think makes Henry and Jorge such they're popular mysteries? Because not many people know about them. They don't
personality. Both have a personality. Like George was a quiet guy, even as a fighter. You know, he was a quiet guy. You know, he always super technical guys. One of those guys more technical I ever trained in my life. Very technical, dedicated. Sometimes hard not to crack, but it's still a good kid. It's still a good kid, but personality. It's only personality. They have the personality to don't like to talk that much, you know. I remember one time I was with George in Japan after he won the Sengoku tournament. And then I say, hey, George, say that, say that. No, Benkei, I don't want to say nothing. So, but for promote yourself, because I know a lot about the Japanese culture. And say that, they're going to like it. Say, no, Benkei, I don't want to say nothing. I don't want to say nothing. I'm going to go there, answer the questions, and go back home. It's his personality, only the way they believe or the personality. And Harry also. Harry is a very humble guy.
He did
He's a
one
one of those hard work trainers I ever met in my life. He working hard, man. He always working hard.
He did an interview with Ariel Helwani, and I just feel like we got to see Henry finally and hear him. However, knowing the MMA media, they're looking for a soundbite. They're looking for a way to like get clickbait on their articles, and I just feel, if I were to talk with Henry, I just feel like I would be able to have a conversation like we're having, but it's not about like to make, try to make myself look good. It's like, because when I do these shows, I'm trying to make both of us look good here. I like hearing stories, and I think people should know about all forms of MMA, whether it's from
Yeah.
Brazil or North America.
Yes, I understand, bro. But like I told you, it's a personality. Their personalities are like that. They are very focused on their work, and they don't see, like we also, like me as well, so the opportunity to make more fans understand what we do, got my guys on the game. This is my personality, was not their personality. That's a no. I respect, I understand.
What what are some fights coming up? Because we just had the last pay-per-view last night for the 2020. In 2021, we got some big I think, other than the Poirier Conor fight, what are some other fights you're excited for that have you wanting to watch the pay-per-view?
Poitier and definitely, I want to see the Poitier and Conor. I want to see that fight. Because now is time pass, Poitier grows up a lot. He's a good guy, and I want to see how is Conor right now. That's the fight I'm looking forward to see. The other fights on the show coming up. Nothing like keep me like, oh, okay, I want to see that. I want to see that. It's a little bit. This year was a very slow, no, about performance. This is but let's see next year with the finally finish that pandemic, and then we can have a good shows coming up.
I really want to see if because now John Jones is training for heavyweight, so let's see how he really does at heavyweight.
That's also I want to see. And yesterday was very sad with two people. One was Cigano, man, and Cigano. I believe his problem right now, he couldn't fix it. Concussion for his last fight. He was moving very strange, very slow. It's like normally signs of people has concussion, and I think now he must stop it, looking for a neurologist to see what's happening in the brain, to check it out with this and fix this before he goes forward. Before everything, he must check this for real for his career.
Yeah,
because
and I mean,
too slow for the non-normal. Okay, the knockout was in the neck, the elbows behind the neck, but I still thinking the way he moves were very strange. Very strange.
Yeah.
It's probably signs of concussion. You must check it out.
You said there's another one that was pretty sad. What and who's that?
Jacare, man.
That was tough to watch.
Jacare was tough to watch as well. The kid did, everything he could to win the fight. Like, when you're desperate, you do everything, do craziness because you want to win the fight. He was hungry to do it. And one thing about Jacare, bro, like it's a great kid right now, I love his coach. Distak is a great guy, great coach. Nothing against Distak. Actually, once he has more, because you training on your garage to UFC, it is not right. It is not right with light guys in your garage to fight in UFC. I don't think this is right, even to his coach, you know. And I believe, man, Jacare must think about, you know, build a camp or go to the somewhere and stay with the team, one team, a strong team, so he can hit his potential. A great guy with the biggest potential on this weight class, never be a champion. That's not fair. That's for me, on paper, he's the best of weight class, the best in this weight class. But he never hit the top of the division. Why? Because he wants to drive his car and go to the small gym or go to train in his own garage and, you know, save some money for the camps. I don't think this is right, bro. I don't think this is right. Maybe I'm wrong, you know, maybe he's right and I'm wrong, but in my opinion, train your garage and go to fight in UFC is not right.
No, I think as sad as it is, you know, I don't want to be the bearer of like bad news, but I think with what's happened, you look at their records, their age, they might be part of those 60 cuts that are coming. And, you know, maybe as sad as it is, because, you know, I don't want to see food taken off anyone's plate. Maybe at the same time, this can kind of be like an awakening for them, you know, as cliche as it sounds, for them to get checked out, to get their heads checked to see if they have any CTE, concussion, because their long-term health is important. You don't want to be forgetting who your kids are at 50.
True. Anyway, you know, we hoping people learn with the lesson and have a chance to do better next time. Yep. But you say true, the 6 cuts coming up.
60. Romero just got released.
60, not 60.
Yeah. 60 for those who want to know, it's 60 because the roster's inflated. I mean, that's the problem too with being a monopoly when you're just with the biggest promotion in town. That's why I think we need to have more promotions. Like I like when it was UFC, Strikeforce, Risen, Bellator, like you had 4 promotions. Yeah. Now you have kind of the same with, you have UFC, Bellator, one in Asia, PFL, and bare knuckle.
KSW on Europe.
Yep,
I believe in Europe we need more shows, no, bro. We have just KSW as big, and we have Cage Warriors, not that big. Have another one in Germany. I forgot the name. GMC.
Yes.
Too small. They need to have more like big shows in Europe, and in Asia. We are good with ONE FC, but they must be more open.
Yeah,
I think ONE FC. Only things that are great shows in every aspect. Only things they must be more open to get guys not only of the area. I understand they must make money because they operate on the area, but they must give chance for Brazilians, for Americans go there to fight to get a better quality show in MMA.
I mean, yeah, like ONE FC was Nakahara, like our friend Andrews Nakahara was trying to get into ONE FC, and I was even promoting him, saying like, hey, you know, this guy's a Kyokushin, is a very good, is like one of the legends in Kyokushin. He's got very good BJJ. I think he would do very well.
Just Cosmo got locked there many times, for a year or 2 years because they didn't give him a chance to fight. But now, grace Lord, everything is right, and now he can fight again. And
I hope so too.
They must have like more open conversation, more open doors for different schools from Brazil, different schools from America. Not just only come from Gracie or coming from this or coming from, let open to the best come. The best record, the best will come. If they have this, it's gonna blow up because the show is good. The show is good. In my opinion, also they must to change a little bit about the rules in MMA. I don't like the kicks in the heads on them. This is a part of the past. You know? I know it's in Asia was a traditional, but I don't think this works good. You know, and they don't have elbows on the ground. I believe they must go to the rules. Stabilized rules and the regular rules of MMA, and It's gonna be good.
I
And
agree.
also, I don't like the cage, circular cage. I hate that in Bellator because this is make striking looking bad. When you
Yeah.
are striking, a good striker, what do? You cut angles. You cannot cut angles on circle. You're gonna get lost. That's happened when you fight. You see the quality of a striking on on Bellator and UFC. UFC has 8 angles, but when you see PFL have 10 angles because it's 10. That's great.
Yes.
Because what happened? A circle, when you put someone against the against the fence, you can take down people more technically. It's very hard to defend the way of you defend in UFC using the wall to put your weight and do deep wizards and keep you guys easy. Like it's easy to defend. It's more physically than anything. Physically you can defend, not technically. But when you have a circular cage, it's easy to go to your back, and then you cannot use the same way of defense. You know, then the wrestling is more technical, but the striking got lost. But when you put 10 angles, you still have on the wall against the fence technical wrestling because the angle is more open, and then it's easy to go to your back. And at the same time, you have 10 angles to cut. It's much better to you move and get quality in striking. I prefer the old cages, the PFL cage. For me, it's the best. 10 sides.
I agree. I agree. So this was great. I have to admit, man, I want to thank you for taking time out of your day and busy schedule again, because you're very busy with all the projects you have going. Where
Yes,
can people?
it's like right now I'm really don't know where I'm going. It's like because the pandemic situation, I got stuck here in Rio. It's very good because I have time to my daughter. That's I'm he's right now I'm here in her room. You
Yeah,
know,
she said she's gonna probably come by. Like,
she
so,
can come.
yeah,
She can come to say bye
yeah,
bye
she
for me.
gets. We're gonna make her famous.
She likes it. She likes
Yeah,
it.
we gotta
But
make her famous.
anyway, it's like I had time to have time with my family. Entre fashion. Uh, spend this is 5 months with them, 5 months with her because for me it's very hard. She's here.
Hi.
Andressa, Andressa.
How do you say hi in Portuguese?
Oi, oi, oi.
Oi, 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 oi.
Say hello.
Hello.
Hello to the
Oh,
MMA.
yeah, I'm from
Hello
Canada.
to the MMA friends from Canada. Hello
Hello
to
Hi.
to MMA
MMA fans
fans
from Canada.
from Canada.
Very
Nice.
good. Awesome. No, she's good. She's good. She's good. She's going to be fluent. You did well, Andre. You did well as a father to teach her English. And if you want me to teach her English, I can tutor her. I'm an English tutor by trade. Actually, I teach English to kids in China. For
Oh,
yeah. So if you have anyone that that wants to me to teach them, let me know. If there are fighters that want to learn English, let me know. I'll do what I can. I'll send you my credentials after by text, and yeah.
my project for sure, brother. Look, that's the way I told you before. Like I was very close to finish my deal in San Francisco. I'm still there. You know, they have everything. Just waiting to open the doors. It's gonna be great because the San Francisco area is very nice. But also I got invitation from Germany and from Turkey
Mm-hmm.
as a possibility for Germany and Turkey. Now I'm waiting for their proposal and what the project we can make there. And I'm gonna wait. But anyway, I'm close with San Francisco. If the borders open, I can go today. You know, I just
Yeah,
waited for. I just want to the border got open and we can make it that. But anyway, we had also Turkey and Germany invitation. That's very good. That's looking. The business start to get hit from coaches and MMA fighters all over the world again. That's
perfect.
good. It's good. It's good news and good to know.
Yeah. So where can people find you to connect with you on social media?
And my social media like Instagram and Facebook is just Andrea Benkei, BNBENKEI. and just follow me there. You know, I'm always open to conversation in Instagram, Twitter, and same account, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Anything for there we can talk. And I always, if I can help, I can answer. I will. As I'm always open to MMA fans and all over the world and fighters as well.
Perfect. Well, man, I just want to say thanks once again for taking time out of your busy schedule with what's going on. It was a pleasure to talk to you again and meet your daughter, one of your daughters. I think you have, how many daughters? You have two?
I have two. One more at 16 years old. She lives here in Rio. Andressa lives normally in north of Brazil.
Okay.
Now she's 5 months with me here in Southwest.
Awesome. Well, you guys have yourself in a, I want to say thanks once again. And guys, once again, that's Andre Benkei and it's Andre Andre, right?
Yes.
And Benkei is Benkei. That's on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You know, very approachable. Those guys worked with legends, as mentioned. You know, friends with them too. So if you're looking for like MMA advice from or just striking advice, he's the go-to guy. And yeah, man. So.
And also, if you want to be a fighter, man, we're gonna have open space wherever I go. You know, I'm gonna open the new team and probably in San Francisco, but we never know. No, that maybe Turkey or Germany as well. But wherever I go, you guys are invited to be there and send me the profile and let's work with.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right. Well, as mentioned, this was the Drew Experience episode 3 with the return of a legend. And the episode will be up on YouTube and all audio platforms, whether you prefer to watch it or listen, by the end of the day today.
See you, my brother. A pleasure and honor to be here with the MMA fans in Canada and all over the world. Brother, thank you for keep up the sport like that, you know. I truly appreciate your work, and anytime you want, just let me know. I'm going to be glad to help you.
No problem.